Oh, good evening. Welcome to Be More Super Live. I'm your host, Bryan, joined by my co-host, Mr. Steve Jones. Steve, how are you, my friend?
I'm very well, Bryan. How are you?
Oh, surviving. And great to be back this week live. For everyone that's watching, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like, and share, and comment. Comment, and we can bring it onto screen. Because do you know what? Tonight we're breaking down the biggest movies of the summer and deciding if they're going to be a hit or a miss at the box office. So there's going to be a lot of split opinions. Some people are going to agree with us or disagree with us, and there's nothing wrong with that. All I would say is, if you disagree, comment what your opinion is, and if you agree, you can put a thumbs up or even comment, that you agree. We need to get you involved, but I cannot wait to start talking about these summer blockbusters. So before we do, which movie do you feel is going to hit the $1 billion mark? Because it's crazy how much these films can gross now compared to, I suppose it's adjusted for inflation, but $1
Yeah,
billion out of
it's
all the films this summer, what do you reckon is going to be the
this,
film to watch out for?
this summer is difficult. I mean, I think we all know that December's going to be a busy month where that's concerned. But
Mm,
over the summer, I mean, probably, Spider-Man's the new Spider-Man's a good bet.
yeah.
That's a pretty good. The Should we say the only real success that Sony have had with the superheroes. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a real challenge. I'd like to think that some of the other ones we've talked about, Supergirl and Masters of the Universe, might hit, but I can't see them making
Oh.
that kind of money. So
No, but who knows? I mean, again, globally, it's going to take a lot. I mean, everyone thought about Superman; they were slating that, but globally, I think it's over 890 million now, so nearly the 1 billion mark. Um, but talking about flopping, is there? I mean, looking at the summer slate at the moment, and we're going to talk about four of them, but do you feel that these franchises are being overused, that we're not getting enough original films, original stories? Do you feel that we're just seeing the same old on our screens?
um, sometimes I think that, but other times I'm like, bring it on. I want a bit more. For
Yeah,
somebody who enjoyed, especially things like Marvel, DC, because as somebody who, when I was younger, did enjoy comic books, there's so many stories out there that haven't been told, and then we've done, three versions of Spider-Man. And you kind of going, there's so many other things out there that can be used from those universes that we haven't even touched on. I mean, there's that the unmade Squirrel Girl series, all sorts of things out there that could be made and haven't. So I think to some extent, yeah, I'd like to see some new original adventure stuff come out there. We had a massive period during the 80s where it was just original IPs all over the shop.
yeah,
Stuff that came out, and it feels like we've sort of gone. Well, it's a tried and tested story, so let's remake it or let's tell another
yeah.
sequel. I think it'd be nice if we could have a few more adventure stories. When was the last time I had a Princess Bride
Oh,
or
mate, Princess
Adventures in
Bride.
Babysitting? Great
Yeah,
films, but
yeah.
you know, doesn't
Hey,
feel like we're getting a lot of that sort of
do you know what? I
new.
should reach out to Keith Coogan, who was in that. I chatted to. We should get him on the show because he was in that film. Yeah, Adventures in Babysitting. They did a series as well, if I'm right in saying.
They did, yeah,
Is it on the Disney Channel or something like that?
something like that. And there was a remake as well. Yeah, but you
Was there
can't beat the original, like you say.
No,
There's
no, Elizabeth
issue.
Shue and good old Thor, which
Yeah, Thor.
I
And
suppose. Yeah, go on.
it wasn't called Adventures in Babysitting here, was it?
No,
It
no,
had a
no,
different title. Do you remember the title?
no. What was the title?
A Night on the Town, I believe.
Was it? I don't.
Yeah,
Do you know what? I don't get why they have different titles, and I'm starting to notice it now because they're still doing it. But do you remember
yeah.
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles? Because
That's what we
they,
called it.
yeah, because they didn't allow us to use the word ninja because apparently that
Too
was,
scary.
yeah, too scary, too violent. And look where
Yeah.
we've got to now. But you know what? Let's talk about this first film because everyone loves a sort of a period film, something that you can see that they've made effort. But this film, I know for a fact, it's going to cause a lot of opinions. So we're talking, of course, about the Odyssey. So the Odyssey is from Christopher Nolan, and it's about one of the oldest stories ever told, and it looks epic. It absolutely looks epic. But the reason why I think that a lot of people are going to be very vocal, anything to do with history, anything to do with periods like this. I had it when I reviewed a film called Boudica or Bodicea, as a lot of people say. And people started criticizing the costumes, saying they wouldn't wear this, they wouldn't wear that. They're talking in the wrong language because people are very opinionated about historic things, and history majors and people that are experts can sometimes get it wrong. But this film, from an entertainment's point of view and for your eyeballs, looks amazing. We're going to look at the trailer in a second. But first of all, Steve, before we see the trailer, do you think this film is going to be a hit or a miss this summer at the box office?
It's one of those. It's going to go one of two ways, isn't it? It's never the sort of film that's going to go, oh, it's just sort of there and it's okay and it does. It's either going to be massive, and I mean it's Christopher Nolan. Let's not forget. So the
Mm.
chances are it's going to be one, visually sort of stunning, and two, it's going to be a right old story. It's probably going to be quite long as well, I imagine, if it's Christopher Nolan. But
You're going to get your money's
I'm not.
worth.
Yeah, you do pay per minute.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it will be, but it's got the potential, especially with some of these historic stories that, like you say, it can divide opinion, and if you get a few dodgy reviews in there, it can make a real difference. So, yeah, well, I think we'll have to see. I think the proof will be in the pudding there
Yeah.
once it's
I
the
mean,
cinemas.
I've got to say, there's certain films out there where the studios go all out for marketing. They're talking about it, they're starting the rumor mill, but there's a mystery around this film because I'm confused about how they're marketing it because nothing really has been out there except for a few, columns in Empire or
Yeah.
Starburst or on the internet showing, the shape that Matt Damon's got into, for
Oh,
this role because he is absolutely stacked for this
yeah.
role. I'm a bit jealous how these Hollywood actors can just transform themselves, but I suppose they've got
It's
the money and the time and the
I was just about to
experts.
say when you can take 6 months to get ready and you don't have to worry about paying the bills, it's probably a little bit easier to do. But
Yeah.
I mean, on that front, like you're saying, the the cast, when you look at the cast list, it just goes on and on. You go, wow, this is some of the
Mhm.
biggest sort of Hollywood stars of the current age in there. Like you say, Matt Damon's in there, but you've got Zendaya, you've got Tom
Tom
Holland,
Holland,
you've got
Anne
who else have we got?
Hathaway.
Yes, Anne Hathaway, I noticed as well. So there's it comes with a pedigree, a box office draw, right across the board. So and Robert Pattinson as well.
Yeah.
So there's kind of an appeal for everybody in there, right? It feels like they've gone for every genre of or every an actor from every genre that's popular and gone. Let's put them all together and see if we can make something amazing. And so
I suppose that when you're Christopher Nolan, you're not going to have difficulty getting actors to star in your films because
no,
his pedigree is unbelievable. So Anne Hathaway's worked with him before
yeah,
in the Batman series, and I suppose everyone's from Inception. Robert was in
yeah,
Inception, so I suppose he's bringing a lot of them back. But let's have a look at the trailer, and we can talk a bit more about it afterwards because I'll be honest, I only saw the first 20 seconds of this because I wanted to see it for the first time. Because again, marketing is being non-existent. So here we go.
After years of war, no one could stand between my men and home. Not even me.
Promise me you will come back.
What if I can't?
Okay, so straight off the bat, that looks a lot better than I thought it would be. It's very sparse, in the way of the scenes. I see either the editor has decided to literally do what a trailer should do, is not give all the good parts, but give a tease to what the film could be about. The one thing that I'm excited about is we see a giant creature coming out of a cave, and we see something coming out of the ground. So that means that it's not going to be like, your Troy film, where it is literally set around this time. It's going to be creatures, and it's going to be a bit horror. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, Jason and the Argonauts, the Clash of the Titans. That's where I think it's going to go. That kind of level, and that's always a difficult place to go because those films were such classics, and that stop motion animation that just had that incredible unearthly feel to it was incredible. You watch it now with your kids and they're like, "Oh, this is really rubbish," and you're like, "No, it was terrifying as a kid." I think some of the more modern CGI interpretations of those sort of stories haven't fared as well because it just didn't have that kind of to it. But this, like you say, hopefully what they're doing is saving all the good stuff because it's a Christopher Nolan film and they're going, right, this isn't some first time movie director's pet project. This isn't some new IP that we need to really sell all the action from. We know with Nolan there's going to be quality in there, and they're probably understating it a little bit, and then we're going to get the big woof once we go and see it.
I mean, so out of hit or miss. I mean, for me, Nolan has always been a cinema experience. Anything he does looks amazing. The reason being is because this film, as it says there at the bottom, you can see shot with IMAX film cameras. So it's going to be epic to watch in IMAX. But do you think that films like this could be in the danger zone of coming across a bit too complex or slow? Do you think it's going to be full of action and a good watch?
No, I don't think it'll be full of action. I think there'll be a blend because it's Nolan, right? Even his Batman wasn't full of action, So I think there's an opportunity for us to tell a bit more of these epic stories. I think if he's got that blend right, then it's going to be great. What you don't want is 2 hours of Matt Damon going, "I miss my wife," Because, if you know the story, it took the guy 10 years to get home to his wife after the war.
Yeah.
I can't help but think, maybe if he jumped on a Ryanair flight, he'd have been there sooner. But, that doesn't always necessarily work. So I think as long as that pace is there, I think you'll bring people along. If it's too slow, I think that's what could make it suffer. As beautiful as it may look and as epic a story as it might be, if there's not enough to keep you going between the excitement, then it could struggle.
So hit or miss?
I'm gonna go out on a branch and say I think Nolan knows what he's doing. I think it'll be a hit.
Yes, I completely agree. Completely agree. So that is definitely going to be a hit. So let's get rid of these and let's talk about the next thing, which is one that I'm really, really excited about, which is The Mandalorian and Grogu. And it's quite funny because you've been to Disney, I presume, because you've been to yes, Mando. Brendan Wayne, who's the guy that's in the actual costume, he posted a picture. I think it was yesterday or the day before, of him stood next to the person at Disney at Galaxy's Edge that dresses up as Mandalorian. And then I commented on it saying, well, I shared the picture and I just put Brendan Wayne, did he realize who he was stood next to? And then Brendan messaged me and said, no, I didn't have the heart to tell him. Which was quite nice. But
yeah,
this looks epic on so many scales. I think it's been 7 years since they released the last Star Wars film, which, looking back, is horrendous, especially when Star Wars is such a big IP that they haven't done more in the cinema. So with this was supposed to be season 4 of The Mandalorian, but then they pivoted and decided, you know what, we're going to end it with a movie. The only thing I'm concerned about is that The Mandalorian, I think every episode, am I right in saying, was about 30 minutes long. And it was around that, wasn't it? So you got about, I think, again, someone's going to correct me if I'm wrong, you got about 3 hours per season. Because I think it was 6 or 7 episodes per season. I'm sure there was. So are they going to do enough in a 2-hour window? Again, I don't know how long the runtime is for this. But, I mean, what's your thoughts?
Well, look, I mean, I'm glad to hear that Dave Filoni's taking over Star Wars as a whole.
Yeah.
Right? That's I think if anybody's hands it needs to be in, then he's the guy. He is Mr. Star Wars, and he 100% knows what needs to be delivered. So I think we're in good hands. I think if they think that there is an epic enough story to tell, then 100% he'll do it. I'm really intrigued to see how the Razor Crest is back at the ship, because I've seen that in the trailer. I don't know if you're going to be showing that, but the that looks wicked. And so, but I mean, it's going to be interesting because if you think when the series came out, and I loved watching on Disney Plus all the behind the scenes and directors stuff and the directors roundtable, it was so insightful, much fun when you've got Bryce Dallas Howard and the late Cole Weathers and a few others, even Kathleen Kennedy. Dave Filoni sat around the table talking about how they came up with this, all the stuff about the format they used to film it, and that ability to use the screens on the set was incredible. So then you've got to hope they've got a story that's epic enough that's going to stretch across a movie in the right format. And I think, it's Dave Filoni.
I mean, they're introducing a lot more characters into the film. The Hutts are back. You've got Sigourney Weaver as well. Joining the cast. So I've actually got a video. It's a bit of behind the scenes, a bit with Pedro and some of the cast. But this got released a couple of days ago. So if you haven't had a chance to watch it, this might be a great moment. So don't look away or play a game.
Rolling.
Welcome, Grogu.
Never touch the buttons.
I hope you don't mind us talking about you while you're here.
I feel like your relationship with Grogu has evolved organically.
It started out very reluctantly and then deeply, deeply bonded.
I love how we took you from being his protector, and now he actually feels kind of like he can handle himself now.
Oh, yeah.
He's not just a cute face.
No.
It's not just the Mandalorian anymore, it's the Mandalorian Grogu.
Long live the Empire.
I play an officer in the New Republic. This isn't about revenge. I need someone I can depend on.
We'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
Not quite sure about this little snack eater.
Because it's IMAX, because it's a movie, I wanted to recapture the feeling of when I first saw Star Wars. And so when we're making this, we were using all the technology that's available. And then, of course, we have a lot of classic stuff.
I mean, it was the coolest set I've ever been on.
All of that is to give a whole new audience that same feeling of excitement that I had the first time.
This movie, when you see it, it's like I just got off of a ride.
Do we run or do we fight?
Oh, the 22nd of May. I'm so going. I want to go. I know my wife won't.
Let's
So
do it.
we'll have to have
Let's
like
do it.
a bro visit to the cinema. I mean, just watching that, for me, I've been such a fan of the series that finally to see Mando on the big screen, I think for me, and I think my opinion, I'm gonna shoot the gun now, and I think this is going to be a massive hit because you know, watching all the fans that watched Mando, and remember that you know, Disney Plus were launched with The Mandalorian. That's what launched Disney Plus. It's a great franchise. And also you got Grogu, which is a global phenomenon. You know, every child probably owns a Grogu in some form, either if it's a key ring, a teddy bear, a bag, you name it. You can't go in someone's house without seeing a Grogu, and it's got a built-in fan base already. I can't wait. The only thing though that might make it a miss, and this is very loosely, is that if it feels just like an upgraded TV episode. So it hasn't got that sort of Star Wars feel to it in the way of the movie feel, because it is different watching a series. And is Star Wars fatiguing? You know, they're getting to the point where that's why it's been so many years, because we hear so many rumors of Daisy Ridley and so many, you know, Star Wars movies that were going to be made but wasn't. But we've got obviously the X-Wing, the one with Ryan Gosling.
Starfighter.
Yeah. So what's your view on watching that and having been a fan of the series? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I guess they're going to have to be careful because with the series, episodes were different genres, right? Some looked like westerns, some were like, you know, Japanese samurai movies. There was such an eclectic mix of styles that you could do with episodes because it was an individual sort of story in the greater book. I think they're going to have to be a bit more cohesive with this one. But looking at it, it looked like a Star Wars movie to me. Okay, the sets look massive. They weren't just in the volume by the looks of it.
Yeah.
They were actually out, you know, in big sets too. And I think, I'm excited now. So I think we're going to have to do a Be More Super road trip, and we go and see that and film our reaction afterwards, so that we can share with everybody what we thought.
And as I said before, I would bring my Mando helmet, but it doesn't fit over my big nose, so I won't be wearing that. But yeah,
I'll print you a bigger one. I'll 3D print you a bigger one. It's
a giant one. I'm going to like a pop figure. But no, I mean, it's going to be good. You know, I always get scared of things that I love and I've grown to love, that it doesn't disappoint. But to be fair, it's Mando. and it looks like it's going to be great. Plenty of monsters. It looks as well as that we're going to see a lot more of Pedro, which is going to make a change because I love it how it takes the movie for Pedro to be seen more. Do you think that might be down to money? That the budget is a lot bigger?
Listen, Pedro was in everything for about 3 years, wasn't he? And I mean everything.
Yeah.
So it was difficult to get him to be in a mask, right? Appearing in a mask when you've got, like you say, other guys who did a lot of the mask work. What was the point? Yes, he can do the voice, but if he's not taking the helmet off for the whole season, do they need him there? Are they, is it worthwhile getting it filmed and not waiting around for Pedro Pascal's calendar to free up? So I think, it's the movie. So it's going to be in the cinemas. It's going to have a bit more pull to appear, and see a bit more of him. It looked like his face will be on view at some point again. And who knows? But exciting times. I think it's going to be epic, whatever, right? And some people will dislike it, they'll hate it, and other people will love it and go mad for it. And I'm a bit of a fan. I love all the Star Wars movies, regardless. And some people think, oh, you can't like the prequels if you like the sequels, and I love it all. It's all a great big adventure, and I love it.
So, hit or miss?
I think it's going to be a hit.
Excellent. Did Did you like that sound effect? I've got it working. I was there thinking, why is it not working? But I've got this as well. So that's for a miss of obviously.
Fiber in your diet.
But you know what? Let's talk about the next film, which, do you know what? I'm confused, so confused with, which is Moana. And the reason why I'm confused is that it only seems like the other day that they brought out the film of Moana, the animated film. And everyone went crazy. Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote all the songs. And then they brought out Moana 2. That didn't do as well because Manuel Miranda wasn't involved with writing the music for the second one. And then decided to, do you know what? We've got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Let's make a live action one. When you found out that they were going to make a live action one, what was your first initial thought?
Well, at first I thought, like you, well, they've only just brought the other one out, but it's been 10 years. 10 years since Moana came out, so it's not like it's brand new or anything. Obviously, Dwayne Johnson did the voice acting for the first film, so it's kind of nice to have that consistency and have him appear in the film as well, the live action version. Visually, is he probably quite there? I don't know. I think there's probably other actors that would look more fitting.
Yeah.
But it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's a big pull for audiences. It's a Disney movie that's fun, and it looks like it's a real sort of accurate retelling. It's not the sort of Snow White way, let's change all these things. It looks like it's almost a shot for shot repeat of the animated version, which I think we would probably agree that if Walt Disney could have made live action versions of his films from day one, he would have done. But the technology of the time didn't allow you to do it, other than animating it. So
Yeah, I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get. I mean, it's going to be a copy of the animation, and the animation was so good. So, are we just taking our kids to see, the same film that looks slightly different? And is this Disney just deciding to rinse as much out of this IP as possible because they know that kids are going to want to go and see it? The kids have got the buying power in this world. We've just got the pockets. They've got the buying power. But you know what? Let's have a look at it. Let's give everyone a view of, and I agree with you, I think someone else should have played Maui. there was a video, I think it was on TikTok or something like that, of two girls going to like a department store in America, and the person, the cashier, that was it. They were going to Costco, and the cashier looked more like Maui than Maui. Do you know what I mean? And these kids
Yeah.
were convinced this guy was Maui, and he even did like the voice and everything and took pictures with the kids. I thought it was fantastic. But let's have a look at, what all the fuss is about, and let's hold our true opinions until we've seen the trailer.
I know a girl from an island. She stands apart from the crowd. She loves the sea and her people. She makes her whole family proud. Moana, listen. Do you know who you are?
The stories are true.
The story has just begun. Beyond our reef, an evil darkness has found us. Moana, the ocean chose you. Find Maui. Restore the heart of Te Fiti and save us all.
Maui, demigod of the wind and sea.
Hero of men.
Huh?
So it goes like this. Maui, shapeshifter, demigod of the wind and sea, hero of men. Ah, women. Women too, men and women.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See her light up the night and the sea. She calls me. I need your help.
I'm not going on a mission with some mortal.
My island, my people won't survive if we don't make it. The ocean chose me for a reason. And it chose you too.
Listen, princess, if you're gonna do this, you gotta go through a whole ocean of bad.
I'm not a princess. I'm the daughter of the chief, leader of my people.
Are you ready to be the hero?
Let's go save the world.
I got your back. What? Is there something in my teeth?
Okay, so all I'm going to say is if Alan Tudyk isn't back as doing the voice of Hey Hey, I'm out, to be fair. And I've just been looking. I can't find him in it. It's only listed 5 cast members. It looks good. It looks good. And I think it looks well made. And I think that it looks beautiful visually because the colours, in the animated film was spectacular. Are we going to enjoy it? I think we are, because you can't go wrong, especially as it's a copy of the original that did so well. I think for me, seeing The Rock with hair, I think because we're so used to seeing him with no hair, now we've seen him with hair. I think I was just thinking that's what's put me off The Rock. Do you know what I mean? In his character. I mean, after watching that, do you stand by your thoughts, or is there any new opinions?
I think it's a weird one, right? So a lot of the animated Disney movies that they then made live action were the hand drawn, So you were looking at the Cinderellas and the Sleeping Beauties and the Little Mermaid, right? But this felt like if you took Moana and Maui out of it, it almost could have been the animated version.
Yeah, like
I
the
don't
Coconut
feel like
Men.
there's enough of a distinction between the animated version, and the CGI they've used in it. I know they've tried to keep it really close to that original, but I feel like there's just not enough difference. I think it'll be watchable, it'll be enjoyable, and if you've not seen the original, it'll be amazing. But I think it'll just feel a little bit shortchanged if you go and see it. Having watched the animated version, there's nothing really that's any more visually spectacular than what you saw in the animated version 10 years ago.
I mean, I reckon this is going to be in the cinema for a very short time. and I think it's going to go to streaming on Disney Plus pretty quick. I think it's going to be one of those films that is probably going to be out for a week or so at the cinema and then straight to streaming, because it's the type of film that will attract people to the streaming platform, because not everyone's going to pay, £70 plus to take their kids to the cinema, which is heartbreaking, especially when they do the family weekends, but it's never like a film like this. It's always like an older film. So we'll see. I mean, what's your opinion? Hit or miss?
I think sadly this will be a box office miss. I think it'll be a good film. I think it's a miss.
Do you know what? I completely agree. I think it's going to be entertaining. I think it's going to be a popcorn movie. I think people are going to enjoy it that hasn't seen Moana, as you said. But I think people are going to compare it. And I think there's going to be a lot of backlash and critics out saying it's a carbon copy. So let's say it here first. I think it's going to be a carbon copy. Don't let me take away from the actors, because the actors in it look amazing. The girl that plays Moana looks like she's ideal for playing Moana. And there's some really good cast in there, like Frankie Adams, who was in The Expanse. She's in it playing Cena, and there's so many great actors in it. So hopefully it does well, because we want things to do well, because then they'll continue making stuff and the studios will keep making money. And The Rock needs work, obviously, because he's in everything at the moment. And then lastly, going on to the next one, which is a guaranteed, winner. It's I don't know why we're going to be talking about hit or miss, because as you said right at the beginning, it's one of the franchises that's saved Sony. And what we're talking about is Spider-Man Brand New Day. Everyone loves the Spider-Man film, and I used to watch the Spider-Man series when I was a kid. Obviously not when it came out, because it came out in the 70s, but the reruns. I didn't like the last Spider-Man film, I've got to say.
Didn't you?
No, I think it was too much of the multiverse. I think it's Marvel's way of getting around things and making as much money and continuing to make things, because when someone dies, they're like, oh, we'll bring them back. I felt the last film was a case of, let's see how many cameos we can get into the film. Let's see, and I think the story suffered, for that. But that's my personal opinion. And I love Spider-Man. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I think he's excellent. But your view on this film? Because I've got a feeling you've got some opinions. I can see them just oozing out of you. Go on.
You know what they say? Opinions are like buttholes, right? Everyone's got one, and some of them stink. So, it's no, I really enjoyed it. Right, the last movie I did, because I think, being such a fan of the previous incarnations, it was great to see how those characters had continued on beyond what we'd seen of them in the cinema, and how Tobey Maguire's character was that little bit older, so he was a bit more of a mature Spider-Man. He was married. He was was trying to be better. He's being better. All the stuff with Alfred Molina around being better and what have you, and the Andrew Garfield not being able to save Gwen, all of that stuff, and how that had played on him for so long, how it had helped sort of impact who he was. I really enjoyed that. I feel like the movie was a setup to what's coming now with the multiverse stuff. So, I used to read the multiverse comics, and so it was kind of like I could see what was coming here. I could see where we're going with the whole, Doomsday and what have you. That's gonna, the Secret Wars stuff. It's all, it's all going to be incredible. But I think this new one, we're going to see more cameos. We're going to see more surprises, because we've already started with the I don't know if you've seen on the trailer, there's a scene where he's fighting the hand. So if you've watched any of the Netflix series, obviously like Luke Cage and Iron Fist and stuff, and the hand are quite prevalent in that. So it looks like that we're in New York again. Are we going to see any of those appear? You know, is Daredevil going to pop up again, or at least Matt Murdock maybe, because they've been fighting against a similar sort of thing. And then obviously the Punisher is turning up.
Well,
The most
we're
R-rated
gonna
character.
have do you know what? I can't wait. Is it the 18th of May or something like that, where the Punisher special comes out?
Well, this is the question. So what's going to happen in that, and how he appears in Spider-Man, and how do we sort of tone him down for the family audience? How does that work, and does it take anything away from the Punisher character? So,
I mean, the last film. Don't get me wrong. I know I said that I didn't like it. I thought it was good with the cameos. The thing is, for me, is that I've enjoyed those films when they came out. I really enjoyed them, and they brought back the characters, the villains. But I just wanted to see more of them. I wanted to, you know, they deserved a lot more than what they got on screen in this film. But then Spider-Man: Brand New Day, obviously it starts off where the last one ends. So Doctor Strange casts the spell. Everyone forgets who Peter Parker is, and not just Spider-Man, but Peter is also erased from people's lives. So that's MJ, Ned, the Avengers, his entire support system. So now we start a brand new day. And how is it going to go? You know, is he going to do well? Is it going to be a case of he's going to go back to day one? Well, let's have a look at the trailer because this explains it a bit better. And let's have a look for the hand and some of the potential villains that we're going to see.
I can't believe our first hit MIT. MJ, come on, pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
I knew it!
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other. Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me. Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
The hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van!
Quit your whimpering. Suit yourself. Mother.
Go home! And sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. What is happening to me? Oh, God. Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
What did you say your name was? If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous.
Spiders have 3 life cycles. When between cycles, it can leave the spider vulnerable to threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control. One we can't even see. Stay out of my way.
You're losing it, kid.
And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of rebirth.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
Okay, that looks good. I just feel that that's got a lot more substance to it, and I love the fact that the streets of Glasgow was used for a lot of those action scenes, and he also got injured as well quite badly, didn't he, during the filming? I quite like that, and you know, the fact that he's mutating, and we're going to see what's going to come next. I mean, what is going to come next?
Finally, we're going to get Man Spider, you know, famous for has appeared in the comics, and I think also in the animated version, you know, where he mutates into basically a giant spider. But having the likes of Dr. Banner in there, and some of the traditional Spider-Man villains like Scorpion's back,
Yeah.
and a few others. I think there's going to be a lot more to come from it. I think there's going to be a lot more behind the story, but I think fundamentally it's going to be the neighborhood Spider-Man rather than, he's not an Avenger anymore, or he's not actively working with the Avengers. He's focused on New York. He's focused on rebuilding his life, and everybody knows Spider-Man, but nobody knows Peter Parker because that bit's been erased. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Obviously, there's all talk of Ned's character evolving to finally become a villain. And if we looked at the trailer, you can see any of the Ned scenes. He's on his own a lot. Or he remembers being on his own because obviously he spent a lot of his time at school with Peter, and now he doesn't remember Peter, so he remembers being on his own. So does that isolation then turn Ned into the Hobgoblin? Is that what we're going to finally see? I guess we'll have to wait and see what the cinema tells us when we go and visit this one.
I mean, I'm looking forward to the cameos because, or should I say, new characters making an appearance. Because the one thing Marvel does, the one thing they do really well, they don't think 2 steps ahead. They think like 8 or 10 steps ahead. Like a spider's web. And I think they're setting stuff up for the next round. And I forgot her name now. She was in Stranger Things. The redhead. Because Sadie Sinks or something like but she's rumored to be in this film. She's rumored to be in this film as Jean Grey. I don't know. I mean, the rumors are rumors until we see it on screen. This is the one thing I don't like about films now. We get too many rumors, we get too many leaks. People are filming on the sets now, and we're seeing it all. And there's no surprise there anymore. There's no buzz.
As much as I love all these you'll see videos from great channels like Screen Crush and things like that, where they go into the details of every Easter egg and every little thing. Sometimes actually I want to kind of avoid that, and I say to my kids, they'll go and watch like every breakdown and every synopsis of an entire movie before they go and see it. Actually, I want some surprises. I want to go in there and be amazed and be taken away from the real world and just immerse myself in cinema. And it doesn't feel like you can necessarily do that when you've had all this exposition and explanation previous to sitting down with your bucket of popcorn and your massive drink.
So do you think this is going to be a hit or a miss?
I think it'll be a massive hit.
Yes, I agree as well. And, I think this is what the cinema needs. Do you feel that there is enough hits this summer to really help the cinemas, get ahead and make lots of money?
I think there's enough good movies out there. I think the problem we have these days is something you mentioned about the Moana thing, was that they probably don't give films enough time to build an audience. Like, if you're only in there for a couple of weeks, people might go, I'll wait till it's quieter to go and see it because I don't want to be in a packed cinema, where I can't move. And some people prefer a bit more, and take a bit of time. And a lot of the time now, things have already gone. So it'd be good if we could get some more sustained showing, especially in the multiplexes. They can cope with, having films on for a longer period of time. So I think there's enough there to really have a summer of cinema. But let's just wait and see.
I mean, not forgetting, I don't want to cover it twice, but Supergirl is out in June. That is definitely going to be a massive hit from the back of the success of Superman. And on the 18th, so in 3 days' time, it's Supergirl Day. So if you've got a local comic book shop near you, go down because they are giving away comics for free. And that's all comic book shops, which is pretty awesome. And funnily enough, my daughter Cara, she was struggling sleeping the other night, and she asked me, have I got any comics? Honestly, that's probably the best thing she's ever said to me in my whole life, you know. And I went, come with me. And then I looked through all my comics, and I've got like Golden Age comics and comics that are quite expensive. So I was like, I don't want to give an 8-year-old like a comic that's worth £200-300. But funnily enough, I found a newsstand comic that I got free. I think it was a free giveaway, and it was a Supergirl comic. So she absolutely loved the fact that it said Kara all the way through the comic. And she's like, oh my God, this is me. So, you know, if you're in a comic book store near you, go and get your free comic, Woman of Tomorrow, which is, you know, the one that the new film is based on. That is going to be a hit anyway. I know it is. I don't care what anyone says. That is my opinion. But anything on TV that you're watching at the moment that you want to give a shout out for that maybe people have missed and should be seeing?
Well, I mean, we talked about a few bits before. So The Pit again. I took your advice where we went there with the HBO.
Oh, you watched it?
Max, and yeah, and we were about 6 episodes into season 2 and loving it. Yeah, it's great, really good, really good. So yeah, I would heartily recommend that to anybody. You know, even my 14-year-old son, he's massively into it now as well. He's been watching it with us. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that. Obviously, The Boys season 5 is well underway, 3 episodes in now. Really good again. Some you know, final season stuff on there that you kind of go, oh, now it's the final season. All the gloves are off. You know, anything can happen. Main characters can be impacted as well. So we shall see how that goes.
Can you imagine all the main characters to the writers of The Boys? The only question they're going to ask is, so which episode? Which episode am I gone? Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like, am I at the beginning, middle, or end? But no, I'm glad that you're loving The Pit, because The Pit, it tackles some heavy subjects. And season 2, they've got ice that got written into one of the episodes, and that was Noah Wiley's choice as well. He was the one that wrote that storyline, and the way they tackled it, I thought was amazing. And they tackle so many things. And Noah Wiley's character in the show as well, he's just a phenomenal actor. Phenomenal. And it shows like this, it really showcases, you know, people's ability that we may have missed over the years. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was great in Falling Skies and ER and The Librarians and so many other things. But in The Pit, it's like a proper redemption show for all these actors that may have struggled for many years, but now, I mean, look how many like awards have won. It's crazy, and it's just being renewed for another season. You know, after this season, so it's been so season 4's been greenlit already. So they're starting to film season 3 soon, minus one of the doctors, which is quite sad. But you will see a familiar face. So Sophia Hasmick, who was in Superman and Lois, that I've had on the show a couple of times, she appears in the last few episodes as one of the main nurses for the night shift. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God.
This is the other side as well, because there's talks of a night shift spin-off. So, which, you know, that would be incredible too, because, you know, I don't know about you, but whenever I've been to an emergency room, especially the one near us, night time's the time to be there. That's when the crazy comes out. So, absolutely worth. And do you know what I really love about it is the fact that it's shot over one day.
Yeah.
So it's not just like between each episode could be a week. This is one day, and you feel the fatigue, especially if you binge it. You always feel the fatigue, and you know it's moving all the time. There's never sit still. There isn't time to sit still. But like you say, the stories are so good. There's so much heart in it. You know, it doesn't hold back. You know, I mean, seeing people with catheters being administered and things, you know, they don't hold back. There's nothing visually that you don't see. It's warts and all. And I like that because there's a reality to it, you know, that you don't see in other medical dramas where everyone's covered up a bit, you know, it's all a bit polite. Whereas in a
Yeah.
real genuine medical emergency, you haven't got time for embarrassment. You have to just deal with it. So
Apparently, it's the most real show, like medically accurate. I mean, I don't know if you noticed the nurse with the grey hair, because I've mentioned it before. It's a tall, thin guy. He's actually a real ER nurse. So when he's not filming the pit, he's working in a hospital. And they've got so many advisors to make sure that all these procedures are done correctly. And I just praise all the actors, because how can they remember all that terminology? It's crazy. It really is.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And then the last thing, everyone loved The Handmaid's Tale when that was out. That was like an epic show, won again so many awards. And now the spin-off series, The Testaments, is out now. So that's on Disney Plus. It's an incredible series, 3 episodes in. It follows Gilead 15 years after the end of Handmaid's Tale, and it does not disappoint. And I didn't realize I missed the way they say things in the show so much. Like they'll say "praise be" and stuff like that. And it's such a good show, it really is. So if you haven't seen it yet, but you've seen Handmaid's Tale, definitely check out The Testaments on Disney Plus. But Steve, that is time. It's time to go. Thank you everyone for watching and subscribing. And Steve, why should everyone hit subscribe and share this show?
Well, because the only way we grow the channel is with your support. We want to hear your opinions. We're here for you, with you. We give our opinions, but they may be wrong. But share, like, subscribe, join us, join the conversation, and we'll get more people involved, which means we get bigger, brighter, amazing guests joining us on the show and things like that. So it works in everyone's favour. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share with all of your friends.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Look after yourself, everyone, and stay super. And we'll see you next time at the same time, 8 o'clock.